Allegiance to Jesus Christ. Life in the Word. We need to have a deep spirit of recollection and faith in our daily life. We are called to give life and be sources of life. We need to surrender and let go of our ego, and we should allow God to surprise us. We should allow His Word to stay with us, give us life, and strengthen us. We need to not be frantic about our daily life and not allow our chores to overwhelm us, but we should always be in the presence of God. We need to hold the Word sacred. Like Mary, we need to ponder on the Word and allow the Word to bear its fruit in us. Sin is all around us. The dark night of vices overwhelms us, but we need to bear the mystery of Jesus within our hearts. Am I an icon or an idol? An icon is a reflection of the image of God used in the Orthodox traditions, whereas an idol is something that is worshipped. It could be an idol of myself and my ego. When faults of others make me feel better, it is an idol that I nurture within my heart. Am I better than the other and I compare myself? Then I tend to worship myself and my ego. The inner journey is to discover God at the center of our lives and not our ego. We need to see God in everything, and we need to truly see ourselves as we are. See the self as icons, an image of God. Our vocation is to become an other Christ that will bring us through freedom and through love. Any sin, any desire will hinder us from this freedom, and we give in to our egos and make it the center of our hearts. People want to see Jesus in us. Am I a reflection of Jesus to others? We need to help other people also see Jesus within themselves. The ego only destroys, and we need to put it in the right place, not at the center, and make it an idol and become slaves of it. The devil and the world can never get to the innermost part of our being. It is only the ego that stands as the biggest obstacle between ourselves and God. Reframing love. Our life as a Christian is a life of love and freedom through love. Habitually, we need to have a desire to imitate Christ, to learn the life of Christ, to study Him, and respond to others as a gift. We have to be an invitation to love. When our inside is full of love, it usually manifests in our outside. We need to be people of forgiveness. Even though we have suffered and been victims of different situations in our life, we should never harbor anger, but we should need to forgive and reframe our stories and become the hero of our stories by being a forgiver. Jesus on the cross was betrayed, denied, yet He chose to forgive them, forgive all His offenders. It is only through love that we can achieve freedom. It is not what I like, but what God wills for me. That is the life of communion and love and through freedom. Only when we reframe love, even in the midst of the bitterness and trials of our life. Life of a prophetic gaze. As a Christian, our gaze should not be on the things of this world, but on the higher things. Higher things does not mean that we should have knowledge of the future, predict the future events and happenings or end times sayings, but it is a battle for God's honor. That is the true worship of God, keeping our eyes on the higher things. Flee from the occasions of sin. We may get tired in the course of our journey, but where is our gaze? Is it on God? Can we recognize God in our everyday life? A prophetic gaze is a gaze that can recognize God's presence in our daily life as an individual and even as a Christian community. We need to pray always and live in God's presence. Even in the midst of our daily works, we need to be vigilant in prayer every moment of our life. We need to contemplate the good that we see in others, because the good is a direct reflection of God. We need to make ourselves present to the other and thus make them feel God's presence, not only in the good times but even the bad times of their lives. Because if we are not disposed to God's presence and open to others through friendship, then we cannot be in the prophetic witness and cannot live a life with a prophetic gaze. So it is an invitation to be a witness of God's presence and love and to inculcate a prophetic gaze. Life of a Christian is a life witnessing to the truth. The prophetic gaze helps a person to see things in the right perspectives. Truth needs to be sought out, it needs to be found, it needs to be expressed within the community, but through love and understanding. We need to have charity in all that we do, and especially in the practice of truth, because truth is charity. Truth helps us to build up on what is right, especially on moral principles and Catholic teachings. If we compromise, it is accepting truth at a different level. You cannot accept truth at different levels like that. You either fully accept truth or you let go of the truth. So we need to be very careful of our attitudes in life. Don't get what we want always. Therefore, we need to build bridges, especially when dealing with others. In today's world, as the truth is tainted and people follow all kinds of ideologies, may the Word and the Catholic principles be our guideline and our lighthouse to enable us to move ahead in life. Life of a Christian is life of relationship. As a Christian, we are always pilgrim and we are seekers. For Jesus has said, "Follow me." So we have to constantly remember our yes to the Lord, to constantly follow Him. As a single person, we are weak and we constantly need a community and relationships to help us in our journey. And in our relationship, we need to look at the virtues and not the vices of others. Don't get into self-pity, because we need to encourage friendships within our community and not be possessive, controlling over others. So our love is sacrificial. We need to be a Christ to the other person. We need to work on charity. We need to build relation not only with others but with God in prayer. We need to be careful of the words we speak to God and not speak in vain. We need to break from self-preoccupation and focus on Christ, on His mission and vision for us, especially the salvation of souls. And for that, we need to be more sensitive, open, and loving in all our relationships. Christian life, beauty through suffering. The dark night of the soul may seem very discouraging. Even our Blessed Mother had to go through lots of suffering all her life. She was misunderstood. She had many contradictions, but there was no jealousy, competition, or envy, or any other wrong attitudes in her. For she took her suffering in the good spirit and offered them up for the salvation of humankind. So stop believing what I know, but rather be open even in the midst of suffering in order to deal with it. That will bring true freedom and liberation. Am I really open to see what God is trying to tell me through this suffering? Am I glad that I am suffering? Cry in silence is heard by God, because God is listening. He is always attuned to our cries. Praying in your and persevering in your suffering is a big virtue, because God wants you to build a balance, a harmony between action and suffering. Beauty is a harmony of dissimilar things, and our suffering will manifest the beauty of our virtue. The pain of being alone on the cross was later on accompanied by the glory of the resurrection of Jesus. So we need to reflect, does suffering make me a loner and go into my own self-seeking bubble, or does it make me other-centered and more pleasant in virtue and spirit? Our suffering not only helps us but edifies our community. Life of a Christian, life of mission. Mission means people who are sent out to proclaim the good news of Christ. A missionary needs to have three important attitudes: a receptive attitude, a lived experience, and a shared experience. A receptive attitude. A missionary needs to be open to the message of Christ and open to Jesus, who is the one who has sent him. He needs to live like angels among men. He needs to not be full of his own self but needs to be other centered. He needs to give himself fully in service. He needs to accept his own littleness and remain little and become little and allow Christ to increase in him. It is only when we are receptive that Christ's grace can work in us. Secondly, we need to have a lived experience. We need to receive and live our experience. Not what this or that one said, but it should be my experience. This experience of love as Christ loved, because we do not deserve this love. That experience brings meaning and efficacy to our mission. We need to understand our vocation. We need to live our experience of the gospel and be a witness to others. Thirdly, our experience is a shared experience because we bear witness to Christ. We walk the path of Christ. Our greatness is not our work but our quality of life, our quality of love and holiness which we manifest. We have to interpret the Martha and Mary of our life in total balance. We need to be seekers of God as well as workers for Christ. We need to be an individual as well as a community working for Christ. Most important thing for a missionary is the simplicity, which is the essence of the message of the gospel. We need to be innocent like doves but shrewd like serpents. We need to follow the message of Christ. So a life of allegiance or a friendship with Christ is a life in the Word, where suffering becomes beauty, where we become icons and not idols of Christ, where the prophetic gaze helps us to move ahead, where we are seekers of the truth, where we live in deep friendship with God and with people, and where we are missionaries who are receptive to God, and our own lived experience is shared by being witnesses of the allegiance to Christ.